Hi guys, Ronnie here. Welcome to the workshop. Today I want to talk about group sets and whether you really need electronic group sets at all costs. First, to start with, I have been on electronic group sets for 99% of my time riding. I started riding almost 3 years ago now, and I went from Durace Di2, I also had Ultragra Di2, and now I'm on SRAM Red E-Tap on my road bikes. Whereas on my TT bikes, I had Durace Mechanical, then I had Durace Di2, and now I ran a SRAM Force 1 by 11 speed group set, which is a mechanical of course. And then I also have done some mountain biking, with recently trying SRAM's new XX1 Eagle, and also XTR Di2, so I ran around 4 hours on both of these last week. So what's my opinion? Well, for first, let's start with the road bike. If you are on a road bike and you're racing, you're pretty much always better off with an electronic group set, mainly if you train a lot in poor conditions or just simply train a lot, because these would provide they need much less maintenance, and it's much easier to get them shifting properly with quick, fast and reliable shifts. Of course, even electronic group sets are not faultless. If you have them set up wrong, then they're not going to perform anywhere near as good as a well set up mechanical group set. What I think is a bit of a myth among cyclists is that electronic group sets shift faster. I think that's not really the case. If you have a mechanical setup with super nice cables on there, really well set up, then it's always going to shift faster. Simply because of the mechanical connection of the spring and the cable tension, it just plainly is faster. I haven't ridden anything that would shift faster than this bad boy compared with this super nice mechanical return to control shifter. So that's shift speed. In terms of maintenance, cable routing, if you have an integrated bike like this one, or pretty much any modern bike, it's going to be much easier to set up an electronic group set, wired or wireless. Of course, it's much easier again with wireless, but the wired ones are still easier than mechanical ones. And the problem with those is that it's really hard to get them working in a frame like this, and to get them working properly, and also to have them working that way all the time. So yeah, that's in terms of maintenance, you're better off with electronic. And then when it comes to front shifting, I think when you're racing, great bonuses with electrical is you don't have to think about your front derailleur trim, and also you don't have to worry about cable stretch or readjusting or anything, because once you set up an electronic system, it's pretty much the same all the time and you don't have to worry about it. Same goes if you ride in bad conditions, cyclocross maybe, or just simply rain, then you don't have to worry about some cables getting contaminated, making you unable to shift. So I think they're more reliable in this sense. Then if you go to some more special applications, such as my TT bike or triathlon, etc., then where you don't really need all that gear range, I think if you can do with one buy, then you're better off with mechanical, because let me put it this way: if you need to buy, you will probably much better off with electronic, because that way, as I mentioned earlier, the setup is going to be easier, it's going to be more reliable, less maintenance, and yeah, it won't be a hassle to work around it. But if you decide to run one buy like me, then if you set it up electronic, I could have SRAM Red E-Tap, but it would have the same amount of cables in there, or Durace Di2, same amount of bar clutter and so on, so there's no real advantage of having a 1x system. But when you have a 1x mechanical drivetrain, then it's basically just one cable, no battery, no blip box, no junction box, no anything. It's just that one cable, and that's pretty easy to route and take care about. So yeah, in the end, I think this applies for TT bikes and mountain bikes as well, because there also you can have XT or Di2, as I have ridden recently, and then you have XX1 Eagle. And the difference between, well, the simplicity really is that the beauty of the 1x system is that even if it's mechanical, you get this super nice, just one cable and that's it. You don't have to worry about anything else. And yes, no derailleur trim, no anything. So for these applications, I think you're better off with mechanical, because yeah, maybe an electronic 1x system would be more reliable in poor conditions, but just the setup and the maintenance is not that much of an issue, and also the trim, so that basically erases the benefits of the electronic system. Of course, there are prices and weights to consider as well. The weights, well, depending on your bike setup, if you're gonna have full inner cables in there, all routed through an integrated frame like this one, then a mechanical system will probably be heavier than an electronic version. And then price wise, if you're on a budget, then definitely the mechanical options are of course more favorable, and that's also true for replacing parts when you break them. So yeah, it's really down to your applications, but to sum it up, for road racing, my pick is double electronic. For time trials, triathlons, and mountain biking, my pick is 1x mechanical, because you save, you gain simplicity and you don't need that gear range. So that's pretty much it. Of course, there are going to be, I think, many more options coming next year. Maybe Force ETAP or ETAP 1x or something like that. If they make a 1x system that doesn't require the blip box, junction box or anything like that, just one shifter that can operate a rear derailleur by itself, then that will be, I think, the ultimate solution. But until then, mechanical is the way to go if you don't need all that gear range. Okay, so this is my opinion about the current standings of the drivetrain situation. If you'd like to know more about my bikes, some technical tips or high-end cycling related stuff, then don't forget to tune into my channel and subscribe. That's all for today. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.